Beloved, welcome back to the homestead. It is Monday morning and a lot took place over the weekend. I'm going to give you guys a little update of what's been going on. We've got the logs delivered for the log cabin and answer some of the most common questions that keep coming up over and over again. Let's take a moment to get everyone up to speed. We are building an 18 by 24, a small log home. Now the question that keeps coming up is, why in the world are you building it so close to the road? Well, we have to. We don't have any choice, and the reason is the river. Now, there are setbacks to rivers in the Pacific Northwest. Traditionally here it's been 100 feet. We have a half a mile of river frontage here. We have two pieces of land, our main house, main property here, and this is a small 2-acre lot that we purchased at the same time. This looks like a lot of land, but we can't build here. This is all in the floodplain. This is all too close to the river. So if we go over here about 100 feet, you're gonna see it. We cannot build anywhere near this. Now one of the reasons why we're putting so much priority upon this project is that the county is threatening to change the setback to 200 feet. That will make this piece of land, well, I wouldn't say useless, but a whole lot less valuable if you can't build on it. Currently, we can build an ADU, which is this, and a house. So that's the reason we are as close as we can possibly get, because we just are really limited on where we can put it. The first being, I don't know that I have 6 months to take off from all of the other things that I have to do, include running this channel, to try to go find logs suitable for this, strip them, notch them, and go through the whole process. That's probably, for me, would be a 6-month production to do that. If I could even find the logs. I used to be able to buy logs. It's really disheartening. You know, you've heard of the king's forest, you know, back in the day, or the king's deer that poachers would get thrown in the dungeon or capital punishment for taking things that didn't belong to them in the forest. Here we live in the most productive forest for producing lumber in the world, the highest quality lumber in the world. We export all over the world, and yet we can't touch it. All of this land, all of these trees for miles and hundreds of miles, all belong either to the state, the federal government, or private timber companies. You think you can go up there and cut logs? You think you can go up there and cut firewood? No, no, no. That is the king's forest. Now, back in the day, there were some small loggers, and I could make deals, and I could buy log loads. Those days are gone around here. All of those small companies have been swallowed up by great big timber companies. Do you think they're interested in 1 or 2 small sales to guys like me? It's almost impossible to find logs. I've been looking for 2 years, and yet I've paid cash, I'll take delivery, you know, whenever, anytime. No one has ever been able to bring any logs out here. So there's that. Number 2, I don't think that the average viewer that we're dealing with these days has the stamina to go through a series that long, to be honest with you. I've tried that in the past. 10, 12 years ago when we did it, it was new, it was novel, people were more interested in it, but now with short content and such, I don't believe that people would watch. You're gonna stick around and watch a guy notching logs for 6 months. So there's a lot of reasons, but I don't have the bandwidth, to be honest with you. I'm one man here. We're running a huge property. We have multiple buildings going. We have lots of different things going on because we have plans for the future, and my time is not best spent notching logs for 6 months when I have so many other things that I have to do. So that's why we decided to go with the kit. Next question is, when are we going to start the construction? It's not going to be for about 3 weeks or so, because we're going to South Carolina. We're leaving in about 8-9 days or so for the national speech debate. So we've got a whole bunch of stuff planned, and we don't want to just start then have to leave. So as soon as he gets back, we'll get a crane out here, and we'll have our friends over, and we'll do the building party, which should probably take about 3 or 4 days. So where does that leave us currently? Well, you can see we have everything ready for the logs to go on. We've got the foundation in, we've got the floor built, we put 3/4 inch T&G plywood on there. It is really built well. We got a 6-foot deck that will come off the front that will be covered, and then the front door will be right there. So it's 18 by 24, not including the deck, I believe. The deck is an additional 6 feet on top of that. But everything turned out really good. We'll do cedar on the deck, and then just a regular fir flooring inside. Some of you asked about a crawl space. Access to that that's going to be here. So there's about 3.5 feet underneath there, and then we'll have this built with a little ladder on it, little stairs, and maybe even a little gas strut, and that will be in the bedroom so we can access it from the inside. Jack is just finishing up the water line, and I'm just finishing up putting that last cross piece in we're going to have EV charger, RV charger, 110s, and we'll have 3 or 4 or 5 RV spots right here if we wanted to use it for that. One more question that comes up a lot is, how much is this going to cost? How much do you have invested in building a small log home? Well, I was having a conversation yesterday with a local logger, and we were having this discussion, and he was asking about it. He's like, are you building a cabin or are you building a log home? And I said, well, I guess I don't know. What's the difference? What would you say the difference is? And he said, well, a cabin would be temporary use, something that maybe doesn't even have power, where a log home is going to be something that people could live in full time, meaning shower, washer, dryer, that sort of thing. And I said, well, I guess we're building a log home because it will have all those amenities. And you know, whether you're building an 18 by 24 or whether you're building some huge lodge, you know, a lot of the costs are going to be the same. You know, for example, the power and the water and the foundation. You know, whether your foundation is small or big, you know, once you reach a certain point, it doesn't cost that much more to go a little bit additional. So there's quite a bit of expenses. You think 18 by 24 is going to be, well, that was in my mind, you know, oh, we'll just throw up a little cabin. It'll be a little thing we'll work on the side, you know, when we have some spare time. Well, I should have known better. We're essentially building an entire home here, because now we've got electrical, we've got a sewer system, we've got all of the red tape and the paperwork and yada, 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 yada. So what is the cost of building this? I will get with Mrs. W and we will itemize it and let you guys know. But if I had to guess, like roughly where we're gonna be at with hiring someone to do the foundation and the floor and the deck, and then us doing, you know, what we can do, the excavating, site work, septic system, electrical trenching, water lines, you know, just filling in where we can. I'm going to say probably, don't hold me on this, but around $150,000 to have this thing, to build an 18 by 24 cabin with all of the utilities and all the permits and all the fees. So the short answer is, I don't know yet. I will let you know. Log cabins traditionally are more expensive, or log homes, a little bit more expensive to build than traditional stick-built buildings. Now, I don't know if that's the case now, but also they're a better home. People have that opinion, like when you're trying to sell them, they typically bring more money if they're built properly. So, you know, I don't know, but very quiet, I've been told, very confidence inspiring, and it just feels like you have something of substance, which is not always true with traditional construction. But I've never lived in one, so I don't know. So I will report back on that. All right, I've got to get back to work. May God bless you and your families. Please keep us in your prayers, and we'll see you all on the next video.